Hello, my friends. I am your friend Kevin, and this is your Divine Daily Blast. Let's get right to it. Here we go. Angel numerology number 2 today. What does that mean? Well, here's my process. I take the angel numerology number and all the other messages combined and work a reading based upon what I feel will enlighten, inspire, heal, and help all of us move forward. Even though these numbers repeat themselves every 10 or so days, the energy that surrounds them and the planets and the moon cycles do create a different change in energy. And as we all know, everything in the physical and the non-physical is all about energy. I like to use both physical and non-physical to create the reading that best fits where I think we are, and suggestions for navigating. It's a bit like a spiritual weather forecast, if you will. So the number 2 energy, I call this diplomacy. It's also known as keeping the faith, keeping going, one foot in front of the other, eyes forward, heart open. More importantly for today, watch your negative thinking. Tread carefully, go gently forward, be as supportive and harmonious as you can with other people, as well as yourself. Consider the sensitive side of yourself, the sensitive side of others. People are going through things. If they're coming at you pointed, fractious, a little bit, including animals and birds, they have angry energy as well. The number 2 energy is about tactful cooperation, above all loving. Anytime I come from a place that is not really loving or kind, something's going on with me that's stirring up some fear. So work with the divine feminine. Don't give up. Keep asking for whatever help you need. And more importantly, ask others, how can I help you? How can I help you move past whatever you're in? If you have a tarot deck, pull out the 8 of Swords, the Wise Counselor, also known as the Hierophant, and rely upon Archangel Jophiel and Archangel Raguel as your angelic support team, if you will. My isms for today: I am worthy of divine opulence. I am deserving of divine benevolence. I am in command of receiving divine abundance. I am peace, I am love, I am happiness, I am joy, I am enough. And you can keep repeating these over and over and over. It's great to do these things right at the beginning of a day. Sets up the day nicely. The universe adores me. Why would they create something that was not nice and not adorable and not blessed and not wonderful? You were created this way. You came in this way. We all have our things we have to do, our projects in life that we have to attend to. And sometimes we want to try to help other people do theirs. Sometimes their pathway, their plan is theirs. We can watch. We can offer support where needed. Can't necessarily do the work for them, although many try. Message from Archangel Zadkiel, keeper of the violet flame. Call upon me, the Archangel of Memory, when you need to increase your mental abilities. Remember facts or release. Remember facts or release unhappy memories. This is about the past. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, I'm going to go over the back and then I want to see how this weaves into the moon. My memory is perfect. I remember everything easily. Now, why is this interesting? The moon, my loves, are in Pisces. That's an emotional, mystical, very last sign of the zodiac, ruled by Neptune. There are 2 main energies that you can tap into. The first is most definitely about healing the past. And the second is, to put it mildly, a mess, chaotic, crazy, madness. Focus on the healing and tend to any unhealed wounds. Like if a conversation comes up, or you bump up against somebody that you've had a little bit of a kiki with, or you've had some sort of memory in a dream, a letter, a card, some obnoxious nonsense, you have really two choices. Address it, meaning try to heal it with the person if you can, or let it go, heal it with yourself. However, stirring up the mire, getting a stick in there and being, that's just going to lead to more chaos. Mercury is retrograde, but there's also Black Lilith. And Black Lilith has this, it's a planet that has this ability to churn up the past. And whenever it shows up, particularly with Mercury being retrograde, Mercury is the planet that governs decisiveness, communication, facts, making decisions, dotting I's, crossing T's, that kind of things. When it's retrograde, and it's coming out later on this week, we get to look at things in a new way. We get to review things personally with an idea of changing it for the better. But some people review things and keep it going. They keep that drama happening. I mean, if any of you have ever been into soap operas, different characters swap stories, and it's all about lies to see what the audience can see, but the people playing the part don't get to see. It's what keeps it a drama. You have a victim, a persecutor, and a rescuer. Whoosh, there's your drama. We're not talking about fiction, we're talking about fact. Where can you heal? What can you heal? Who can you heal? Because isn't that really ultimately what we want? You're changing the energy dynamic of a situation. Moving on. We have Hathor, Hathu. I can't really know how to say this properly. It's an Egyptian name. It's a deity, a god that comes to activate the light, accelerate brilliance, and having us stand in light rather than standing in woe is me darkness. I can't trying to think what else I could sort of add to this. She's like the cow goddess of Egypt, the solar goddess, as you will, strongly connected to fertility. Her story dates way back, 3rd, 4th millennium, something like that. Easily recognized, as you can tell, by the sun on her head and then these cow ears and the cow horns. It's about being, strong, being determined, if you will. She's like a hawk head deity. She comes from the hawk head deity Horus, I should say. So the message really all week long, light, joy, success, challenging you to look through the clouds, let you see the light of the sun shining through them, like the shards of the sun that come through clouds. So if there's that kind of energy today going on, call upon her to say, show me the light, the brilliance of your love, so I can shine that out to the world. We also have Jophiel, the beauty of God. And Jophiel's message is, her activation message this week is, my thoughts are seeds that blossom. From this point forward, what seeds are you planting that can grow a good crop? And is there seeds in your mind, your heart space, whatever that looks like, that's turning into some fallow weeds? I'm hoping this is making sense to you. So, Jophiel this week, talking about weeding out our thoughts. This applies particularly for today. And now I'm sort of beginning to see why these two show up this week, because of what's going on energetically. They come in to offer almost like pillars of help, pillars of spiritual guidance, if you will. And Jophiel's guidance is basically talking about the menace of our mind, the madness of our mind, the kind of like the things that can stir us up, old recurring thoughts, stories, repeated patterns, history, all that kind of thing. They keep us in the small-minded way. They keep us in the unhealed, the limited, and stuck. So this week, use Joe Fuel's energy to bring you, encourage you, what's going to change it. But I think it's also a question of doing the work, actually physically saying, this is a recurring problem, this is a recurring issue, this is bringing me kind of like, your mess becomes your message, your pain becomes your purpose. So we go to work to heal it. And that could even be prayers of healing, prayers of understanding, prayers of clarity. All of it works. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to pick up the phone and have a go at somebody. And if that is something that is on your mind today, watch out. You can get your fingers burned. Because Mars is involved with Mercury up there, and there's a tendency for things to get said that shouldn't get said. There's a tendency for people to speak their truth in a way that is harmful. This is why you want to kind of like find a different way, tactful, diplomacy, kindness, love, up to and including if you drive to work and you notice how the traffic and other drivers are just so rude, or they're in some kind of chaos. You don't need to get into their chaos. You just need to let it go. All right, moving on. Louise Hay's little affirmation today: humor and joy contribute to my total well-being, so I laugh a lot today. So, speaking of traffic and people who are very upset that you're not going fast enough, maybe they've got to pee real bad. Maybe they have got to do something. Perhaps there's something going on that they need to get to that doesn't involve you. Or they simply lost their mind temporarily. You just never know. The tarot card for today. See how all this fits in? I'm like, there's no accidents that this happens. We've got the Eight of Cups. Now, below the surface of the water, we got all kinds of bubbles going on. There's a current happening. It's kind of like a rip tide going on. Now, she's got her feet in all that. She's grounded in that mess. But her mind, her hair, is all up in the clouds with the birds. While the wind is whipping around, she's probably standing in a hurricane. And here we go. Completely oblivious to what's going on. All these cups are spilling over. It's quite the mess. It is quite the mess. But what is the message in here? Well, this particular card has the sign of Saturn in Pisces. It's an impulsive end to a situation. Now, Saturn would seemingly mean talking about involvement, getting involved. And yet, Pisces is the unexamined. The la 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 la, I'm going to go the other way, da 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 da. So, in other words, we've all got these days where nothing seems more appealing than just chucking it all out the window and escaping to a new life. We want to just, dear Lord, lift me off this planet. I can't deal with this anymore. I mean, we all have those days. We really have those days, one thing after another. I think there's a movie that just got Oscar nods, something about just one more thing. I'm like, I don't want to go see that. I'm not interested in watching somebody else's mess. Make a move today and see if you can't sort out your trouble. She's not doing it, but this is a reminder that you need to, if that makes sense. Or will be revealed. You know what? Let's go chit chat to the fairies, because I want to know what they got to say before this turns into an epic marvel. Fairies everywhere. We ask that you come forward with your guidance, with your love, with your understanding. Show up. Okay. Just keep going. You're not shuffled enough. All right. I'm going to do one more. Is that okay? Take the last. Yeah, okay. Strength. Okay, now this one, she's come up before. I associate strength, the lion. In the tarot card, deck, we've got that woman who is hypnotizing a white saber-toothed tiger. So this is really all about balancing the strength, not necessarily doing it with brute force, but seeing if you can't be calm, resolute, and peaceful. And I say that because the skies above is kind of nice, and then you've got this gorgeous waterfall, and then she has her butterfly wings, and she's just literally, look, the crown on her head. She's queen of the pond, and she is like commanding what this lion does. Right down here, there's a little tiny flower in the dirt. So it's possible to have some strength, some courage, and some resolve to go through some of these choppy, difficult, awkward things. Not necessarily trying to sugarcoat what's going on today. I'm just saying face facts, stand up for yourself, and keep moving forward. Get into your affirmations, your meditation. Be mindful of what's coming up, because what comes up is your message. And then say, I'm not sure what to do with this, and let the spirit guide you forward. Right, my friends, thank you for liking and subscribing and your donations. I so appreciate it. I'll drop the link down in the description below for how you can send a gracious blessing. Until tomorrow, much love. Bye for now.